So today's we'll be talking on novel non-MHT treatments in menopause, and we have various options with us, starting from estrogen therapy to estrogen progesterone, isoflavones, calcium, vitamins, and to this new product that has been introduced in the market since the last couple of years. I hope I am audible. Now, menopause is the end of menstruation derived from a Greek word. It is a part of a woman's natural aging process. Menopause is the permanent cessation of menstruation. It is a stage of transition from periods with no wrinkles to periods with wrinkles. And menopause has a lot in common with health problems related to aging. This diminishes the capacity of the tissues to perform their normal function with time. Do we want a woman to look like this? They are worried, irritable, with mood swings, no sleep, apprehensive, bone pain, and various vague complaints. Or do we want them to look like this, active and productive till the end? This picture at the bottom at the center is Dr. Sabita Bateja from Bangalore. Many of you must be knowing her. She passed away in 2018 at the age of 90 and was very active, practicing and healthy till the end. Look at Dr. Sudha Krishnamurthy at the top, still active now. Of course, the other four have made history. Indira Gandhi, Pratibha Patil, Lata Mangeshkar and Mother Teresa, and they gave their best in the later years of their life. 730 lakh women in India are in menopausal age, but only 5% are being treated. The average age of menopause in India is about 46% less than in the West, and most have more than one symptoms. The prevalence of symptoms in India is around 47%, but in the Western countries, the prevalence is around 70%. Maybe because people are more conscious there, maybe they visit their doctors more frequently. Quality of life and bother analysis revealed that all those with menopausal symptoms had their quality of life affected from mild to moderate extent. And probably vasomotor symptoms are the most common symptoms reported to the doctor. Now, what are the phases of menopause? Premenopause occurring prior to menopause. Menopausal phase, it is the end of menstruation. Perimenopause, physiological changes which occur, uh, that means end of reproduction capacity and terminating with climacteric. Postmenopause, 12 months after stoppage of menstruation. 12 months after complete amenorrhea. This all of us know. Now let us have a look at the serum estrogen levels from menarche to menopause. At birth, the serum estrogen level is almost zero. It reaches a peak around 28 to 29 years and then falls gradually with a steep fall around menopause, say let's say around 50-51 years. But it continues to be present till the very end. Even at 90 years, there is a little bit of estrogen left coming either from the ovaries or from the adrenals, we don't know. So estrogen and reproductive organs. On the breast, they help in the healthy development of breast tissues. On the uterus, it helps in repairing the endometrium and prepare the uterus for fetus development. On the urogenital system, it helps to maintain a lubricated vagina and maintains the integrity of the urethral epithelium. In the non-reproductive organs, this is where we are very concerned with. It has a positive action on the brain, helps in maintaining psychological well-being. It regulates the cholesterol metabolism and maintains the right LDL and HDL ratio, which is good for the heart. It regulates the vasomotor symptoms with normal temperature and perspiration. It regulates fat metabolism and distribution of fat in the liver, maintains bone mineral density, and helps in maintaining the elasticity and integrity of the skin. So around 60 to 70% of the estrogen is utilized for reproductive function and 30 to 40% for non-reproductive functions. Now, what is the root cause of menopause? follicular depletion leading to estrogen depletion, surgical removal of ovaries at oophorectomy. The first one is natural menopause, the second one is surgical menopause. What happens when estrogen fluctuation and depletion occurs? It creates an imbalance in estrogen affinity to estrogen receptors. There is a upregulation, that means there's more action on the reproductive organs like breast and endometrium, and there is downregulation, less action on non-reproductive organs. This is not a very healthy scenario, and we'll come back to this slide once again. What is the Kopoman index? It's a combination of self-analysis and physician's ratings. We take the following symptoms into account: vaginal dryness, hot flushes, night sweats, paresthesia, insomnia, nervousness, melancholia, dizziness, fatigue, arthritic pain, formication, palpitation, and headache. And this Kopoman's index is important to assess the results of a particular drug. So what we're really concerned with: vasomotor symptoms like hot flushes and night sweats, vulvovaginal atrophy, vaginal dryness, dyspareunia, loss of libido, psychological symptoms like mood swings, insomnia, depression, anxiety, fatigue, irritability, memory loss, and problems in concentration, increased cholesterol level leading to hyperlipidemia, and a gradual risk in the rise of heart disease and stroke following menopause, osteoporosis. There is calcium loss from the bone and is increased in the first 5 years, resulting in loss of bone mineral density. So upregulation of estrogen affinity on reproductive organs during menopause leads to estrogen-stimulated mitogenesis of carcinogenic MCF7 cells. This proliferation can cause an increase in breast cancer as well as endometrial cancer. Long-term complications: you remember the WHI study in 2005 and after that, where the study was stopped because of problems like stroke and CVA. The issue has not yet been solved, but it has definitely put in a scare amongst us, and we are a little scared to use estrogen now for a very long time. Let's look at the bone health and menopause. With estrogen depletion, there is impaired calcium and vitamin D absorption. There is increase in osteocalcin and alkaline phosphatase, and decrease in BMD. Ultimately, there is bone pain and increased risk of fractures. So the various treatment options we have is hormonals like hormone replacement therapy, estrogen, conjugated equine estrogen, estradiol valerate, tibolone, estrogen progesterone, anti-osteoporotics like calcium, vitamin D, SERMs like raloxifene, soy isoflavones, bisphosphonates, and now this non-MHT option, Estrogen 100. I hope I am audible. Can somebody please say if I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have some drawbacks of HRT. There is a small chance of increase in endometrial cancer, breast cancer, particularly when used in combination with progestin, venous thromboembolism, and a problem in lipid metabolism, as well as increased incidence of gallbladder stones. Now, soy isoflavones, phytoestrogens, and black cohosh. According to the Cochrane data, there is no conclusive evidence of improvement in menopausal symptoms in 43 randomized trials. A meta-analysis of black cohosh reported insufficient evidence to support the use of black cohosh for menopausal symptoms. Thus, isoflavones are not a very suitable alternative to hormone therapy. Isoflavones does not have any significant results. This double-blind trial shows us that the daily administration of tablets containing 200 mg of soy isoflavones for 2 consecutive years did not prevent bone loss or menopausal symptoms. So the ideal menopausal solution, it should regulate endogenous estrogen to the non-reproductive organs and reproductive organs. It should offer symptom relief as good as hormone therapy without risk of cancer, thromboembolism and stroke, which may be associated with hormone therapy. So we saw this slide earlier that when we give estrogen in the menopause, that it has an increased action on the reproductive organs, breast and endometrium, and action on reproductive organs like brain and heart. This is not a good scenario, and what we really want is this. Ideal menopause solution should be upregulation on the non-reproductive organs and down-regulation on the breast and endometrium. It should not have any action on the breast and endometrium, whereas it should have a positive action on the brain, the heart, the skin, and the bones. A natural remedy with the following active ingredients have shown promising results: cinnamic acid, S-methyl ester, and Angelica gigas. Cinnamic acid is a natural remedy which has been used for hundreds of years in China and Korea and has shown significant improvement in the quality of life for women dealing with symptoms of pre, peri, and post-menopause. Angelica gigas has normalized ovarian hormone levels and has anti-osteoporotic properties in ovarectomized rats. And these herbal combinations have been used for years for treating menopausal symptoms. Most of these reducing hot flushes and night sweats, a positive action on the central nervous system, improving mood swings and insomnia, a bone improving BMD, but it has no action or hardly any action on the breast and endometrium. There is no proliferation of MCF7 cells and no risk of cancer. It does not replace strong or weak estrogens. Now, it's a non-estrogenic hormone regulator. There is no affinity to estrogen alpha or beta receptors and inhibits the MCF7 cells. Now the evidence is 3 randomized placebo-controlled trials adhering to international standards have been conducted in the United States as well as 2 in Korea. And they have been published in several journals. Both objective and subjective parameters have been studied. You see symptoms like vaginal dryness, hot flushes, mood swings, bone pain start improving within 1 to 2 weeks. 1 to 2 weeks is a very good sign if you can get results by them. And if you look at the Copperman index, there is significant reduction from 10 out of 12 symptoms. So definitely this drug looks very promising. On the serum osteocalcin, there is a significant decrease in the levels. There is a significant decrease in alkaline phosphatase, but there is a significant increase in femoral bone mineral density. Thus, the net result being improved bone health and less number of fractures. Even the NIH studies says that it is 5 times more effective in increasing bone mineral density, in increasing serum growth hormone, in reducing serum osteocalcin, reducing serum triglycerides, and reducing serum alkaline phosphatase. Estrogen has been proven effective in improving menopausal osteoarthritis in 2 different studies. There was a more significant improvement than the placebo-treated group in total reported menopausal symptoms, including joint pain. This is a study from 2016. Now, evaluation effectiveness have been studied for in perimenopausal women for 1 year, for 12 months, in 48 women, and the results showed that bone mass density and serum bone markers, BMI, lipid profile, human growth hormones were all measured and found to be within very acceptable limits. If you look at this slide, in the placebo group, there was an improvement of only 21%, whereas in the study group, the improvement was 58%. So perimenopausal women may have benefit from Estrogen 100, a supplement especially for climactic symptoms, femur neck, bone mineral density, serum triglycerides, and human growth hormone without weight gain or any serious side effects. Now, the effect of estrogen on pre, peri, and postmenopausal women. This was also a randomized double-blind placebo-controlled study, and you see that with 12-week treatment, there is a statistically significant improvement in various symptoms like hot flushes, night sweats, and paresthesia. No adverse effects were reported, and no significant changes in body weight or BMI. BMI improved. Serum estrogen levels and serum FSH levels remain normal, which have been previously seen in hormone therapy. The Kopperman index and hot flushes show a very significant change over here, and the final results were that it statistically improves the quality of life. 9 different symptoms improved: hot flushes and night sweats, paresthesia, nervousness, melancholia, vertigo, fatigue, rheumatic pain, vaginal dryness of pre, peri, and postmenopausal women. There was an improvement in insomnia, and no adverse effects were reported. Thus, it was found to be safe and effective that can improve women's quality of life and various menopausal symptoms. So it is also indicated for surgery-induced menopause, where we are doing a hysterectomy with removal of the ovaries. That it is non-estrogenic, you can see from the study of 2012, the mean serum estrogen levels did not increase, suggesting that it is not an active estrogenic compound. The mean serum FSH levels also remain unchanged. Now, no toxicity has been observed in rats under vehicle control, and 500 milligram per kg, 1000 milligram per kg, and 2000 milligram per kg test in rats. There was no mortality, no body weight changes, and necropsy findings were also observed to be normal. So this is an effective, safe, and non-estrogenic product that we have now. It is approved by several international bodies like the US FDA and European Food Safety Authority. So it can be used very safely in menopausal women, but I think there is a place for further research, particularly some Indian studies are needed. Growing old is natural, but feeling old is not. And before I end, in these difficult times, I would advise all of you to stay indoors, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again.
So this is Dr. Kiran again. Thank you for such a wonderful and very lucid talk for covering this very important topic, sir. Now we will open up the floor for discussion and questions. Sir, as the questions pop up in chat, I'll read it to you and you can answer. Is that okay, sir?
Okay.
So doctors, any questions to sir? You can either unmute and ask, or you can type it in the chat group. I will read it for sir.
Good afternoon, sir. It was a very nice lecture, very informative. And I wanted to know how long this drug can be given to the.
I can't hear you.
Madam is asking how long this drug can be given.
Well, it can be given for a very long time as long as symptoms persist. Normally, I think following removal of ovaries, that's what she meant, I think.
No, in a natural menopause also and in a surgical menopause, both.
Yes, You see, the mainstay of treatment always remains a proper diet and exercises with lots of calcium and vitamin D3. That is common to any form of therapy. But this can be given for at least 5 years after menopause, and I think it is pretty safe.
5 years, you said, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so 5 years. Okay, and otherwise in the slide was showing 3 months. So should we stop at 3 months and see for her symptoms?
Oh no, those results were for 3 months, but it can be given for a long time because no toxicity has been found.
Okay, so when we give her, we put her on this medicine, we tell her to take for how long? Like, what should be our
Well,
advice?
normally I tell my patients you take it for 6 months and then come back and then we'll review the situation. Some people are very happy and they said, no, we don't need any more medicines. Then we can stop it maybe for some time. But then if they still require medicines, we can continue.
Okay.
There
And sir,
cannot be any hard and fast rule, I think.
okay, it's like the according to her symptoms.
Yeah.
And sir, another thing I was asking whether like these are herbal preparations. What is the ingredients are herbal?
Yes, they are. But they have been tried in various places.
Okay, so like if it's herbal, there are no side effects which we should counsel the patient. Any side effects? Like
As of now, no side effects have been reported.
yes.
But then we need some more studies, of course, particularly in India. And as of now, there are no side effects. Maybe there's a little discoloration of the stool when it is started for the first few days. Otherwise,
Okay.
after that, there is no side effects.
Okay, so it has to be taken regularly, twice daily,
Yes, yes.
or once daily will also do, sir.
Well, the recommended dose is twice a day. But subsequently, one may reduce the dose depending on the situation.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot, sir.
So the next question is from Dr. B.S. Geeta. She gives a compliment saying the discussion was very good. She asks, how long do you prefer in an oophorectomy patient, sir?
I have already answered that question.
Okay.
Hello.
I think I have more or less answered that question. We normally give it for 6 months and wait and then review the situation. But we must remember that whatever treatment we give, vitamin D3, calcium, exercises and proper diet should also be continued along with that. But we can give it for a very long time without side effects.
So the next question is from Dr. Anju. She asks, what is the dose? I think you answered, sir. Second part of the question is, can it be used along with HRT, and can calcium be given along with this?
The second part for question, it is used along with HRT. There are no studies, and it can be given along with calcium. There is no harm. But I did not get the first part of the question.
The first part of the question was, what is the dose? I think you already answered that, sir.
Yeah.
So there's one more part of the question is, can calcium be given along with this? Calcium.
Yes, it can be given. It should be given, in fact.
And sir, another thing I was asking whether we have to do any levels before the therapy, like just give her, or should we take some levels like the cholesterol?
Sir, we can do it. It would be nice if the study is being conducted somewhere and we do the cholesterol and triglyceride levels before starting the preparation and when we are ending the trial.
So, like no effects on those. Okay. No. Or maybe the lipids go down. So if she is having hypercholesterolemia, maybe
it will help. Maybe it will help. Yes.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean we stop medications for hypertriglycerides or whatever.
Pardon, sir?
That means we continue with the normal cholesterol medications as well as give this.
Next time Zoom meeting होगा group.
Okay. हाँ, as a co-treatment she can have the other medicines. Okay, thank you, sir.
Bhagyalakshmi पायो कौन?
Can we add a uterine tonic with it?
कि এটা তো ভাগ্য পচারছে।
So there is a question from Dr. Pranita Srivastava. Can we add a uterine tonic along with it, sir?
What exactly do you mean by uterine tonic? I don't know, but you mean which product?
It's not specified, sir. She said she just says, can we add uterine tonic along with this?
Well, I don't have much idea about uterine tonic. So I can't answer. Yes, Bhagyalakshmi. कैसे?
Dr. Bhagyalakshmi is asking on the role on urinary symptoms.
It's nice to hear from Bhagyalakshmi. She's a very close associate, and there is a symptomatic relief in urinary symptoms. Definitely, even I have seen in some patients. But when there is a very severe degree of atrophic vaginitis, then maybe we have to give estrogen local applications there. But a symptomatic relief is definitely seen.
So the next question is from Dr. B.S. Geeta. She tells that usually patients get good sleep with treatment. Is there any addiction with this thing if you use it for a long time?
No, there should not be. There should not be. Though I don't know if it has been studied exactly, but there should not be.
Any more questions, doctors, to sir?
Okay, can I ask a question to the audience, please?
Wow.
Great.
Can I ask a question to the audience, please?
Yes, sir. Your question I will type on the chat, sir.
Okay. How many of you have actually used this product and got results? Besides, I have used it. I mean, what is the impression of others?
Hello.
Yes, sir. I'm Dr. Geeta, sir. Even we have used for many patients.
Okay.
The only thing is they don't continue for long. That's the main problem because it may be cost effective. They just discontinue once the symptoms are reduced.
That is applicable to almost all medications in our country, isn't it? Many of our patients do that.
Hello.
But they do get results, don't they?
Yes, sir. The results are good as such. Results are really good, especially insomnia, irritability, mood swings are good.
Yes.
No idea about their personal life that we have not asked.
Yes.
Bone pain, I think if they use it for long, I think it will be useful. But really, usually after 3 months, they discontinue, majority of them.
Yes, once they're relieved with the vasomotor symptoms, they seem to be quite happy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the main thing because vasomotor, hot flushes, and mood swings, irritability, insomnia. These are the 4 main things. Once they are relieved, they feel that they are having well-being. They just stop it.
Yeah. That's why patients usually come to us, isn't it?
Yes.
Sir, and Dr. Anju Sharma says she has used it for 3 months. And Dr. Binita Prabha says, I have used for many patients, follow very poor, but results are really good. And Dr. Alaga.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Lellis from LRD. Since long years, I'm using it for my patients. Even in my personal experience, I had a very good result of this, especially regarding vasomotor symptoms, insomnia, general well-being. My patients mainly tell, I feel a general well-being. So I'm very happy of the drug.
That's very encouraging to hear, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Lellis.
Sir,
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Dr. Usharani
Yeah.
from Kannur. So actually, sir, personally, it is very, very good, sir.
Dr.
So,
Usha Rani
I'm
says
very happy with the
very good,
product, sir.
very good and very happy. Dr. Usha Rani, madam from Kurnool.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Dr. Jayantrat sir, Dr. Usha Rani madam said she is using and results are good. And Dr. Tamari Selvi says, I'm using for 6 months per patient, results are good.
Okay, okay. That's good. That's
And
good.
Dr. Alaka says, I have used and got good patient compliance too.
That's fine. So only thing, most doctors seem to have a little lower price, isn't it?
Yeah,
So that the patients can use it for a longer period.
yeah.
Okay. So the more we write, the more the price is likely to come down, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Very true, sir.
टकलों को भी बाल काटने दूंगा, ये कसूर गुब्बारों को मैं नहीं मारने दूंगा। ओए, मुझे
Sir, there is one question from Dr. Lalita Krishna Kumar. She says, in which group of menopause patients non-hormonal medication is advised, and hormonal medications in which group?
Actually, if you ask me personally, those who come with very severe symptoms and they cannot absolutely manage their lives, maybe initially I would prefer hormone therapy for some time. Because I'm not very scared of hormone therapy in spite of the WHI study and all that. And initially, maybe I would prefer estrogen therapy for a short while. I repeat, for a short while. But then I would like to stop it and continue one of these preparations.
Sir, I'm Dr. Geeta here. Sir, do
Yes.
you prefer HRT in a younger post-hysterectomy patient rather than this, or which one do you prefer, sir? Suppose if they undergo around 35 years of age, which one do you prefer? Is there
And
HRT?
that is a different scenario. At 35 years of age, I think I would prefer HRT, estrogen
HRT.
progesterone. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Because that is something like premature ovarian failure or whatever you
Yes.
say.
Okay.
And in those cases, I think hormone therapy would be better.
Okay. But later we can shift over to this drug, sir.
Maybe when she's around 45 or 50, we can shift over to this.
Okay. Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Usha Naveen Bhandari says, mostly vasomotor symptoms got free from this drug, sir.
Yes.
Dr. Usha Naveen is from Nizamabad in Telangana.
Okay. Thanks,
Yes, Dr. Kiran?
Yes, sir. Any more questions, doctors, or comments to sir? Any more clarifications from sir?
I didn't get you.
Sir, I was asking any more questions to you or any more comments from the doctor's side.
I don't know. I don't think anybody has any more questions, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it appears.
Yeah.
So may I take this opportunity to thank the esteemed Dr. Jayantrat and as well as the esteemed participants who have taken time out from this challenging scenario, use the opportunity to upgrade the expertise. Thanks to the expertise from Dr. Jayantrat again.
I'm also happy to be part of the discussions. I must thank all the participants. I must thank Shield Pharma, Mr. Balaji, Mr. Venkatesan, and all of you. And namaskar at the end, as we have been advised not to do a handshake at the moment. Thank you once again.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Jayantrat sir, and the esteemed participants.
Thank you very much, doctor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, doctors.
Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. இன்னும் அந்த புண்ணு கிடக்கு அந்த சாதம்